Hello, good evening. My time is 5 minutes to 5, and I just got a video from one of my friends. He read the article on CNN about Thailand, and I want to read along him, but I'm sure that I will read the name of the place and the name of people incorrect because I don't know the places in this article, and also I don't know how to pronounce the person's name. And for sure, I will pronounce many words incorrect too. And this one is quite interesting article and long article too. Okay, here, Koh Payam, still almost like Thailand in the 1970s. Okay. 10 years have passed since I first encountered Koh Payam. After seeing it described in a brochure I found lying on a table in a cafe in Bangkok's Khao San Road as like Koh Samui in the 70s. I bought a ticket to go and stay for 6 months. This small kangaroo-shaped island on Thailand's Andaman coast attracted me, not for what it had, even though it's home to a brightly colored and rarely sighted hornbill. The real lure is what it came without: no traffic, no full moon parties, and none of the unfettered development that has turned Koh Samui and many Thai islands into parodies of their former stunning stunning selves. Last time I visited, the only way to Koh Payam was on a slow passenger ferry from the city of Ranong, 300 kilometers north of Phuket. There were no cars because there were no roads, only a concrete motorbike track. It wasn't connected to the electrical grid. Only diesel generators and solar panels for a few hours of power each evening. There were no luxury hotels or resorts. Returning a decade later, I was anxious to see what had changed. Mostly it was good news. The old Koh Payam remains largely intact. Still a throwback to the golden times now lost from other popular islands. Inevitably though, there were changes. Decades of change. For starters, the journey there is quicker. Last time I traveled on a big old refurbished crab boat, a pleasant and serene journey across smooth oceans that took 2 or 3 hours. Today noisy speedboats do it in 40 minutes. 10 years ago, my days on Koh Payam involved fishing with villagers of the concrete pier where long-tail fishing boats came and went. If I was lucky, I'd reel in a few red belly pacu, which I get cooked for next to nothing by at Ban Nam Cha, an organic cafe on the island's Long Beach, run by a French woman called Stella. These days, there are no fishermen lazing about the pier. Instead, it's busy with a rush of human traffic as men load and unload boxes and crates from ships. Riding a motor taxi to Long Beach, I noticed that what was once a pleasant cycle ride through greenery is now a strip of restaurants, stores, bungalows, massage pavilions, and construction sites. But Namcha has changed too. Once occupying an empty crossroads behind the beach, it's now part of a thriving retail hub. Stella, the original owner, left years ago. I cannot help feel disappointed by the fact this little island had apparently been well and truly discovered. No big parties. Sea resorts, restaurant and bar has white sofas and wicker furniture on a timber deck looking over the ocean. Patricia Tongni from Switzerland says, Koh Payam is changing but she believes it doesn't have the environment to go the way of popular Thai resorts like Koh Samui. People who talk about a property boom don't understand how expensive to invest here, say Tongni, who owns and runs Seed, a brand new property on Long Beach. We have very short seasons, only 4 months of the year when it doesn't rain. There's not enough infrastructure on the island to accommodate thousands of people, and I don't see them bringing electricity here anytime soon. So that means no ATMs, no jet skis, and no big parties. So we get to preserve the beauty of this place. During my first visit Koh Payam, I slept in a flimsy bamboo bungalow. This time I stayed at Seed. It's among one of a half dozen new barefoot-style micro-resorts on Koh Payam, appealing to new generations of switch-on, eco-friendly travelers. The resort features 9 suites with oversized bedrooms, king-size beds, flat-screen TVs, and patchy Wi-Fi, and a bar and restaurants on an expensive timber deck looking over the ocean. Not everyone likes to be in a small hut, says Tony. Some people want things to be big, fancier. Least polluted island. The arrow of luxury hasn't changed some things. Looking out to sea, the view is absolutely blue, with fishing boats and islands shimmering on the horizons. Looking back at the land, tall green mountain and thick, misty jungle catch the eye in every direction. Under the coconut and pine trees, bracing the sand, is a conga line of new restaurants with names like Ziggy Stardust, Peacock and Friends. This is ground zero of croissant development on Koh Payam, and it's the height of the peak season. Yet, the atmosphere couldn't possibly be more chilled. Venues are almost entirely made of driftwood and natural material hosts laid-back couples, young families, old-timers, and small groups of backpackers. Out of all the islands I've seen, this is probably the least polluted, said Joel Gershon, a Bangkok-based journalist from New York who spent the past decades exploring Thailand. People here seem to care about keeping the place as beautiful as possible and not rushing into developing it in unsightly ways. Island of Adventure. Masman curry pasta. While population pressure now renders my two old favorite activities on Koh Payam, bike riding on the main track and fishing off the pier, unbearable, it doesn't take me long to find new eco-adventures on pristine parts of the island. There's an alternative motorbike track across the island, almost overgrown by jungle and cashew nut plantations to explore. There's also some new culinary creations. I become obsessed with a fusion dish that mixes Thai massaman curry with pasta, ordering it at restaurants all over the island. I rent a kayak and paddle around Koh Payam's south coast, where I take a nap on a little beach on an uninhabited islet and discover riverbank by mangroves. I also rediscover Khao Wai, Buffalo Bay, a beach bursting with lagoon-like water, blinding white sand and little bars and restaurants hidden in rocky forest fringe alcoves. And most importantly, for the first time ever, I see the hornbill and its giant yellow beak, not just one bird, but an entire flock of the magnificent creatures exploding like fireworks from a tamarind tree. It's as if I've been reunited with my first love, and all the years we spent apart are forgotten in an instant. From business perspective, things are 100 times busier than it was 3 or 4 years ago, says Jessica Waters from the UK, who took over Ban Nam Cha in 2010. The type of tourists who come here has also changed. When I first came in 2008, there were a lot of backpackers. The place had this kind of stoner, hippie hangout vibe, but now it's predominantly middle-class European families. A lot of the write-ups I have seen about Koh Payam say it's like Thailand was 20 or 30 years ago, when you could leave your bungalow unlocked and not have to worry about things. So I think what's happened is that a lot of people who traveled to Thailand back then are now coming back here with their kids. They choose Koh Payam because it's like Thailand they remember.